Let's delve into the onClick event handler in React. This handler enables your React components to respond to user interactions, specifically button clicks and other mouse events. It is a cornerstone for creating interactive and dynamic user interfaces in your applications. We will explore how to use onClick to make your components come alive and react to user actions, transforming static elements into interactive experiences. Here is the basic syntax for using the onClick event handler. Inside your React component, typically within a button element, you include the onClick prop. This prop accepts a function reference. This function, known as the event handler, will be executed when the button is clicked. In this example, the onClick prop is assigned the handleClick function. This means that when the button is clicked, the handleClick function will be triggered. The event handler function, in this case handleClick, contains the logic you want to execute when the button is clicked. This function can perform a variety of actions, such as updating the component state, making an API call, or navigating to a different page. As you can see, inside the handleClick function, we have included a console.log statement to log a message to the console and an alert to display a pop-up message. When the button is clicked, you will see button was clicked in the console, and an alert box will pop up on the screen. For simple, concise actions, you can use inline arrow functions directly within the onClick prop. This eliminates the need to define a separate function. In the first example, clicking the button will trigger an alert with the message clicked. In the second example, clicking the button will log processing to the console and increment the count state variable. This is a convenient way to handle simple event logic directly within the component's JSX. The event object provides valuable information about the event that occurred, such as the target element that triggered the event and the type of event. This object is automatically passed to the event handler function as an argument. Inside the handleClick function, you can access properties of the event object, such as event.target, to get the element that was clicked, and event.type, to get the type of event. You can also use methods like event.preventDefault to prevent the default behavior of the event. Sometimes you need to pass parameters to your event handler function. Since the onClick prop expects a function reference, you cannot directly pass arguments to the function. Instead, you can use an arrow function to wrap the function call and pass the desired parameters. Here we define a function called handleDelete, which takes an ID as a parameter. Inside the onClick prop, we define an arrow function that calls handleDelete with the ID set to 123. This way, when the button is clicked, the handleDelete function will be called with the specified ID. In addition to onClick, React provides other mouse events that you can use to handle different types of user interactions. onMouseEnter is triggered when the mouse cursor enters an element. onMouseLeave is triggered when the mouse cursor leaves an element. onMouseDown is triggered when a mouse button is pressed down on an element. onMouseUp is triggered when a mouse button is released over an element. These events allow you to create more sophisticated and interactive user interfaces. Let's look at a complete example of how to use the onClick event handler in a React component. This component uses the useState hook to manage a count state variable. The onClick prop of the button is assigned an arrow function that increments the count state variable by 1. When the button is clicked, the count state variable will be updated, and the component will re-render to display the new count value. This demonstrates how to use onClick to create a simple counter component. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.